Welcome back, everybody. As we continue Breast Cancer Awareness Month, today we are shining a light on cancer health disparities. And according to the CDC, although black women and white women get breast cancer at the same rate, black women die from breast cancer at a higher rate than white women. So my next guest is Lyndsay Christian. She's a breast cancer survivor who is on a mission to change that. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Betty. Good morning, New York City.
Absolutely. Hey, you look great. You sound great. How do you feel?
I feel tremendously well. I feel wonderful. I'm in great spirits because I'm now at a point in my journey where I've gotten through the hard part, and now the focus is the fun part and encouraging women, inspiring, informing, and empowering women to thrive in their journeys on this part. So this is the fun part, Betty, and sharing my story.
I know, and I want to get to that because you're trying to close this disparity gap. But talk to us about what you went through and what you saw and what you experienced when it came to being treated differently.
Sure. So I felt a lump in my right breast. If you see something, you say something, right? That's what New York PD says. I felt something, so I scheduled an appointment with my gynecologist. And actually, she scheduled my very first mammogram. What was my very first mammogram, and through a series of tests, determined that that mass in my right breast was indeed cancerous. And so that prompted and started a very tumultuous journey, emotionally draining, physically traumatic, journey. 15 rounds of chemotherapy.
Wow.
Bilateral mastectomy. And breast reconstruction. And now I am on this side of it. Now 8 months cancer free. So I'm just so grateful to God for being in remission.
Yeah, absolutely.
And through my journey, Betty, I was trying to figure out, well, what do I do with my media background? I was an anchor, reporter, a host in New York City. What do I do with that? And how do I leverage and share and make the most of this health journey so that I can help other women through it? And that's what gave birth to Sir Thriver.
Absolutely. So give us an idea of what you're doing and how you're helping other women who, you know, as you go through this, it's a really scary time. And then to feel like you're not being treated fairly or given the quality of treatment as others, that just adds to the fear.
Right. Well, I will say this, Betty. I have received the supreme care here in Houston. I have a dynamic medical team that surrounded me with not only the best of service and treatment, but the best care. But you know what I'll say to women? You have to advocate for the best. You have to advocate for not just the traditional mammogram, but the 3D mammogram. You have to advocate for XYZ. You have to be a voice for yourself. You have to be an advocate for yourself. But I will say that I know that there are racial disparities and that women of color have more challenges during their breast cancer journey than that of our white counterparts. But it's all in advocacy. It's all in gaining access, the appropriate access to healthcare. It's also just knowing your family history as well.
Well, yeah, because you're the 13th in your family?
I am the 13th woman on the paternal side of my family to have been diagnosed with breast cancer. And Betty, I learned that midway through my chemotherapy treatment.
Wow.
Because we hadn't been talking about it.
Okay.
You have to talk about your family history. You have to know what's going on.
So let's help save lives here. How often should people do a self-exam? Because that's how you spotted yours.
You should conduct a self-exam. I would suggest daily when you're in the shower. The more you are proactive, the more you conduct these tests, the better, because our bodies change day to day, month to month. So frequent self-exams. And if you feel something, even if it's a small something, schedule a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, don't discard it.
When you get to the doctor, they're going to say, okay, just a mammogram. No, we're going to ask for a 3D mammogram and a breast ultrasound, because for those of us women who have dense breast tissue, those examinations will allow for a more comprehensive analysis of the breast tissue. So we just have to advocate, Betty, for the appropriate diagnostic testing, for the mammograms. And here's another thing. If you're under the age of 40, they are likely going to say, no, they're not going to approve that test. But we have to say, we have a family history, or if you feel something, you just press.
Well, that's where your doctor can help as well, especially if you're feeling something. But you're right about getting those 3D mammograms, because if you do have dense tissue. That's really the only sure shot way of seeing it. Thank you so much. Your story is inspiring. We appreciate you being here and sharing it with us.
Thank you. And for those of you who want to continue this journey with me, log on to surthriver.com.
Absolutely. All right. Take care. Best of luck to you. And thanks again. Hey, here at Pix 11,
so much for having me.
we do want to make sure that we are doing our part. So we want everyone watching today to go to pix11.com and print out this Post-it. Put it on your bathroom mirror as a daily reminder to do your self-exam and stay vigilant about breast cancer. We do thank Lyndsay so much for sharing her story. It's really important, though, because, you know, a lot of times you kind of discard it, like, oh, I'll be fine. And then one day, you know, you realize there's perhaps something there, and it can be a very frightening scenario.